Wonderful. Hi everyone, I am Tobin. I lead MCP and agents for WorkOS, which is a company that I will explain shortly. Now, when I was told to come here, I was told to talk a little bit about our MCP nights that we've thrown on. We as a company have spent nearly $500,000 throwing MCP events. I'm not really sure why, but they're pretty fun. So back in May, we threw an event with essentially everyone who was on the cutting edge of building a new cool MCP server. There was Sentry, there was Netlify, who's trying to optimize for an agent experience. There's Zapier, which is kind of the OG MCP, if you will. And back then, the spec was very early. Things were breaking, nothing really worked. It was very experimental. And so 3 weeks ago, we threw an MCP Night 2.0. First one, we booked out the entire Exploratorium. This time, we booked out the entirety of the Regency Ballroom, which is a 700-person venue. It was super fun. This big event. We had folks from OpenAI and Anthropic on a panel together debating the future of MCP. We had folks from Monday.com, previously Shopify, who built MCP UI, which is a super cool way to expose UI through MCP. Imagine you're talking to Claude or ChatGPT, and you say, what are some like cool shoes that I could buy? And instead of it telling you text, it shows you a like purchasing panel of products, which I can demo for you if you guys want me to force to get something to work. We worked with Mux to build a super cool auth video API MCP server, and folks like Basement, which is a design studio doing XMCP. So point being, there's like lots of hype around this. You're all at an MCP event for a reason. What's going on? What is the state of the union? Why do we all care? I want to give you a story from this night in the green room, just to echo off what Watson said about his server. So this is Harold from GitHub. He maintains MCP in VS Code, which is a super cool, like genuinely doing really great stuff with MCP. And this is Eric from Cursor, who's working on MCP at Cursor. Both great applications. And in the green room, before we went on stage, we were about to show off a server that people could use. And we tried using it in VS Code and it broke. Before going in front of 700 people, this was like 30 minutes beforehand. This is just the nature of these things with MCP. Things break. And it was because we disagreed, that Eric and Harold disagreed on whether or not you should point to the protected resource with /MCP or without /MCP. Which I know to some of you in the room is like, this is an irrelevant, dumb thing. You nerds, fix it. But this is a genuine, we tried to do a real-time patch to correctly route people to the right endpoint. Without it, everything breaks. And it breaks on either Cursor or VS Code. Getting it to work on both is kind of confusing and hard. And kind of the point of this story is that everything right now is a little up in the air. So let's try and bring some sensibility to it with some answers. Right now, MCP is a very developer-centric thing. Who here in the room would describe themselves as like a developer or an engineer? Cool. I would say 50-50 room. There are lots of developers here, which is lots of people are using their IDE to use MCP. There's also lots of normal people in the world who would also like to benefit from MCP. I use it on Claude to check my email. And I spent all day at Anthropic yesterday talking about MCP for the rest of the world and what it looks like to do robust integrations into normal workflows people have in the enterprise, into, this is Claudius. Anyone ever heard of Project Vend? Anthropic tried to get Claude to run a small shop and sell goods. Vending machine. And they have the vending machine in the Anthropic HQ. You can buy stuff from it. It essentially tells a human being to restock things, and the human being goes over and restocks things. And like it tells you you can do it. It has no actual connection to the real world. It's just Claude saying stuff. And the next iteration of this, and the way we do robust reinforcement learning at scale with AI, is to have AI connected to the real world. So generally, like a lot of stuff is going. But what is going to happen for MCP Night 3.0? Let's cover some interesting topics before we spend more money on it. I'm giving the whole WorkOS pitch. Redo the ordering. What is WorkOS? What is this company that's spending a lot of money on? We're a security company. We sell auth solutions. That's the entry point you might have heard of. We also do the rest of the enterprise security stack. RBAC, bot blocking and fraud abuse protection, encrypted key management, app secrets, etc. We have this full enterprise security stack. If you don't want to trust us, you can trust our customers. We have essentially every AI lab under the sun using some amount of our security products, including a bunch of other companies that build generally cool stuff. So if you are building software and you want to become enterprise ready, talk to us. Specifically, if you want to build an MCP that's ready for the enterprise, talk to me. There are currently 5.4 4K MCP servers right now on Pulse MCP that you can access. Each one of them, this is all the changes in the spec of last month, they're all broken. Just assume if you're interacting with an MCP server that it's broken. I'm glad we're getting laughs in the room because this is my daily suffering. We're in the wild west of technology here, where things keep changing, and there's a lot to fix here. That server is a bug in the Rust SDK, which is not up to date with the TypeScript SDK, etc. Point being, this is actually kind of fun for everyone in this room because a lot of the applications that have been made yet aren't enabled. There's room to build stuff. If you are deep in the tech and you want to build cool stuff, there's work to do. Right? It's like, it's not easy, it's still hard, and that is the opportunity. That's why you're in San Francisco. And fixing all of these spec changes is like something I would be excited to work with anyone here on. In particular, the security stuff is still super broken. This is a quote someone coined. The S in MCP stands for security. You'll notice not in there. And kind of our goal at WorkOS is to provide that security, which starts with auth. Watson didn't tell the story. We gave a demo night a couple months ago, 2 months ago, a month ago, and I DDoSed his original server. That's why I forced him to make auth. I'm very sorry, Watson and Amanda. And right now, a bunch of servers are completely unprotected. There's a lot of open questions as to how we should do robust protection, whether it's auth, whether it's local, but questions nonetheless, and things we should talk about. So we launched a product which was a auth server that really robustly connects to your resource server, which is your MCP logic. And if you want to test it, we also have a demo. You can buy a shirt on mcp.shop. I will show you the link again. This is free. We are not a shirt vendor, so please give us like 2 months to actually bother to ship it. But you can access a free shirt at, if I can use Keynote. I cannot use Keynote. The designers make things too beautiful and I don't know how to use them. At mcp.shop. Like, genuinely, I think they're really nice shirts. There's a reason it took us so long to get them. But if you want a free shirt, use it. All right, I'll give a second for photos. Okay, let's take it home. What are we seeing? Where's Smithery in the room? Up the back. Smithery is a super cool developer platform that lets you host MCP servers and serve them conveniently into people who actually want to use them with a nice URL. This is our usage chart. How does your usage chart look, Annie? Better. Great answer. The traction on these things is crazy. This is Composio, a really cool company. They launched Rube 2 weeks ago using our auth protection service and enterprise integrations. And I just was looking at our usage charts and it just keeps going up. And that's because they just launched on Product Hunt and they're getting thousands of users. So like things are real, things are being shipped, things work. Oh God, Keynote is so slow. WorkOS is the OAuth bridge. I do have a live demo for you if you want to. I think we're going to run out of time. And also, I asked Claude to vibe code some changes before, and it fully broke everything, which I did start in my defense an hour ago. And I had a lot of faith in Claude that it didn't live up to. So my genuine offer to everyone is we've been throwing tons of money at cool events to invite people into the MCP space. We want everyone to build on MCP, but right now things break. My server is currently broken to do an OAuth proxy. Apollo has a weird Rust bug. Other servers have bugs all the time. This room exists for us to all exchange numbers and fix stuff. I can't speak for other folks like Annie in the room. I spend most of my day just talking to folks, fixing bugs. And if you guys are building MCP servers, whether or not you use WorkOS, message me and we will hack and we will fix whatever bugs there are. Because as a community, things are really happening and we're excited to see where that future goes. Cool, that's my pitch to everyone. Thank you very much.